as an examination and perhaps as a divine clue to us to give us clarity of what living successful really is. And I want you to journey with us for a few more moments here as we examine the bottom line of success. Where does modern success ideas come into the Western world? Does the Western world terms of success parallel with the Eastern world? What philosophers have had to say about what we call success? Again, is it what we call success really true success? Is it success in the eyes of the eternal mind? As one would pick up this text and begin to study it and explore the contents, they might be brought time and time again to the phrase success in eternal terms. What are these eternal terms? As we unfold each chapter of study in the art of success and modern living, another constant fact will be living successfully and how to get the most out of living. As we presented this text in a number of chapters, hopefully you will find it very intriguing, enlightening, and in fact nourishing to your life in a time now when life seems to be in threads and society seem to be undergoing a radical change, and some of the things we often felt or thought were the real indications of success, and now they seem to be challenged as being foundational to real living. There is presented in this text a spiritual message about success, and it is rooted deeply in Christian faith principles. Is building or is money, prosperity the only efforts to be made for prosperity in success? To understand the struggle of what is true prosperity requires very little effort. If a person is struggling just to get prosperity in money and struggling just to live their best to get the most out of their living, they will probably find that success in its true values and true emphasis, in true sense, may not be found. Hopefully, as we have presented this text, we will learn to relax and allow prosperity to come to us and learn how to change our life from struggle to daily fulfillments and rewards in living. I guarantee you, as I mentioned in the preface of this book, that your life will not be the same anymore by exploring many of these truths. Let me skip over a bit here and probably look at something that may be perhaps inspiring to you, as I was reading a moment ago into the book, and I think I was in chapter 1, or possibly in some portion of the introductory of the book. I think it was some portion of here in the introduction of the book. And let me consider some of the brief excerpts from this portion or this part of the book. This is not a series of lectures, essays, sermons, or speeches on success, but rather this text is about a serious and pensive study, consideration of living successfully and getting the most out of living. Its approach is sound, basic, and proven thought, and a method that has come from the heart of study over life and seeking life best outcomes. The moral message and the technical methods, and sometimes it may appear very technical, are all proven in the lives of thousands of successful people. These methods are only principles of life to be employed for lasting success in living. It is really not who is the greatest, who was more purpose-driven to do the most in life or the less. I believe success in life lies more in right principles of life than in the driven purposes for living. Life on this planet is a one-way street, and sooner or later it reaches a dead end. Each individual must reckon with his or herself as to their best returns in whatever course of life they take. It is quite obvious that we as individuals did not receive the same calling, task, or mission in living. Each human being is a design copied by the Creator, and we must insist that the Creator unlikely designed us so differently that when He finished with one, He threw the blueprint away and created another blueprint. Many people spend their lives searching for themselves and often measuring themselves by others' success. They really think that true success is to acquire tremendous financial wealth. Unfortunately, this is not the mark of being successful, and oftentimes it is the mark, unfortunately, of being successful in the Western world and perhaps many other parts of the world. We reference in the beginning of this discussion as to the difference of the terms or the difference of the perspective of success considered in the Western world as opposed to the Eastern world. And of course, most of us perhaps are not very much conscious or aware of some of the Eastern philosophical or even religious thoughts. But when we do a bit of study and observation of sometime the Eastern thought, perhaps before this century, it was grounded a lot in philosophical values and religious thought that oftentimes was not rooted and grounded in the material. And we want to take that up further, perhaps in some aspect of some of the religious or religions or religious thoughts of the Eastern world. People seek every external means and resources that they can give that can give them what they really want financially, and ultimately they are disappointed when their financial dreams don't turn out the way they had it planned. They sometimes become very wealthy at the expense of their inner and spiritual wholeness. They may lose their family and friends in search or for this exterior profiting, or they may never acquire the riches they had aspired to.